Hey guys, it's Griffin here, and welcome back to a continuation of the Fantasy Persuasion. Allow me to pick up where I left off with the introduction and slight development of Harry Potter characters. You see, like I said before, Hagrid is like a wild surrogate uncle of Harry's. You know, like the one that you always like being around and with whom your mom is wary of you spending too much time together, not necessarily for fear of your safety, but that you'll come back with a bad habit or knowledge of something inappropriate. So, Hagrid's good-natured and has the best of intentions, but his idea of fun, gentle, and cute is a little skewed, perhaps, due to his giant's blood. If his owning and raising a dragon, hippogriffs, blast-ended scroots, and giant three-headed dogs weren't enough proof for you, then I really have no clue what could convince you. Anyway, Hagrid is the first character to introduce Harry to the wizarding world as a whole, taking him through the Leaky Cauldron and exploring Diagon Alley for his first time. The relationship between Harry and Hagrid is an instant hit. It's a relationship that endures throughout the entire series. Now, while in Diagon Alley, Harry has his first encounter with Draco Malfoy in Madame Malkin's robe shop. It wasn't a pleasant experience for Harry, who thought Malfoy was a arrogant, privileged, condescending little child. Though Draco wasn't aware at the time, Harry disliked him from the start, and they both realized the full extent of that dislike while on the Hogwarts Express. 'Twas a dislike that bordered on loathing and only deepened with the passage of time throughout their years in school. Now, while Harry was lost in King's Cross Station and utterly befuddled by the location of Platform 9 3/4, he came across his first encounter with most of the Weasley family. After obtaining their aid in locating the platform for the Hogwarts Express, Harry and the youngest Weasley son, Ron, sat together in a compartment and immediately found connections with each other. Not only was it their first year for both of them, but neither of them came from privilege. Their modesty was extremely prevalent throughout the entire series. They share a common interest in the Gryffindor house, and they have a mutual attraction to each other's lifestyle. Ron's interest in Harry stems from the fact that the entire wizarding world idolizes the boy who lived. His interest is also sparked by Harry's predominant Muggle upbringing. Now, Harry's interest in Ron comes from his fascination with a wizarding upbringing, as well as the functioning family aspect of the Weasleys. Now, last, but certainly not least of the first characters in Harry Potter's life, is Hermione. You see, Hermione is analogous with those children who grow up in a strict homeschooled environment and later go to a public school, only to find out they're way ahead of the rest of their peers in every configuration of formal education. Now, because of this, Hermione has an aura of a know-it-all, coming off pretty bossy at times. This shows in Harry, Ron, and Hermione's first encounter on the Hogwarts Express when she comes across Ron in the midst of his attempt to turn Scabbers yellow, while she was looking for Neville's toad, Trevor. This know-it-all bossiness continues up until Halloween, when Harry and Ron save her life from the crushing embraces of a troll. And after this, Hermione softens up a little and becomes more of a friend than a commander of Gryffindor first years. This provides the foundation for a relationship between the trio that is everlasting and carries through every hardship, except for a brief period in time in the Half-Blood Prince, but I'll address that later. However, the time has come to end this episode, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my fantasy feng shui. And once again, if there are any questions at all that you have on the Harry Potter series, I encourage you to ask me in email form through info.with.a.voice@gmail.com. I'll see you next episode.